Hi guys, so I figured I would start this out by showing all of my old coloring pages and also my current works in progress. Um, so I figured this would be a good way to start out to kind of show you how I've improved over the past couple of years and so on and so forth. So there is some TV playing in the background, and I have my two children with me. So if you hear any random noises, they're probably my kids, and there is some droopy playing in the background. So let's get started. First I'm going to start with this zombie that I did. I actually did it in the car. Sorry, I'm doing this on my phone because I don't have a camera. But I'm going to be investing in a pod for my phone to hopefully record better, and I'll be doing like coloring things and tips and stuff like that, and stuff that I've learned even before I started adult coloring, because I've been doing art since a very young age. So but I branched out to new mediums. Coloring has really helped me. Like I was strictly Prismacolor pencils. That and Crayola. That is all I had ever used on my own personal artwork up until I started adult coloring. And I have branched out to watercolors. I have branched out to different types of colored pencils. And I have branched out to all different kinds of mediums, Copic markers, Prisma markers, and I'm really learning how to use so many different things. So this is really branched out not only in my coloring pages, but also in my actual art life. So, okay. This was done in the car. My mom had a knee replacement, and I was taking her back and forth to physical therapy. And so I did this sitting in the car while she was doing her exercises inside. And I really love the way it turned out. It turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. The background, I wasn't actually originally going to put a background, but what happened was I made some mistakes in around the top and where some of my marker had bled through. This was done with Copics and Prismas. I don't know if I said that or not. In the background, I ended up using these, they're like crayons that dissolve with water. They're really fun to use. I should use them more, but they're not the Neo 2s. These are like something that I picked up while I was at Barnes & Noble's one day, and they're like, you know, I don't even know the brand or whatever. I bought neon colored ones, regular colored ones, and then sparkly ones. So I did that. It actually turned out really cool, and my husband loved it. He loved the background. He's told me I should do that more often. But this was a printable done in Copics and watercolor. This was watercolor. It was me experimenting. It and some white gel pen, and I had glued some sparkle things that I had on her dress. And these little circles between here and here, these are gel pen. So she turned out really great. I actually really like her. I don't know if I actually went overboard with the white in her hair, but oh well, she's already done, so. This is from Hannah Lynn. It was done strictly in Copic markers with some white gel pen for highlights and the little bugs in the background. And I did put a little pencil around them, but it's kind of faded. It's been a while since I did this one. And this was me getting better at Copics, because my first Copic picture, which is in here a little later on, is absolutely terrible, so I learned how to blend them. This is another one from Hannah Lynn. Honestly, it was done in oil pastels and then a color pencil over top, Prismacolor pencil over top. And what happened is I don't know, I think that might be marker in the background, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's marker or paint. But basically I was trying to find ways to save on pencils because I was realizing I was going through a lot of pencils, especially for these handled lens, because there's a lot of hair, a lot of skin, and I was going through a lot. Like I had to pick up 3 or 4 peaches and light peaches. So, and the buying them individually is still pretty expensive. So I did oil pastels in the background to try to cover and on the hair, and then I did the colored pencil over top, and it came out okay, but I haven't done it again because I wasn't really thrilled with the way it honestly came out. I feel like it could have been better because it was very hard to try to blend over top of the oil pastel. It was very difficult to blend, so you live and you learn, I guess. But he came out kind of cute. He came out cute. But like I said, probably won't do that again. This was done in Copics and pearlescent watercolors, and I'm really glad that they didn't streak. It came out really nice. And as you can see here, I really figured out how to blend the Copics a lot better over time. So, sorry for the shaking. It's gonna shake because I gotta put this back in. Okay. This is, oh wait, we skipped some pages. Okay. This is all done in Copics, strictly Copics, nothing else. Just a quick printable coloring page that I did. This came from a Kawaii Halloween. I think it's Kawaii, but I'm not 100% sure, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. But Kawaii Halloween. My Copics came in the middle of doing this, so it has colored pencils, Copics, Prisma markers, and some Sharpie, and obviously some white gel pen. That's actually my favorite part of the whole picture because I love the way his little pail came out. But it was really a combination of a lot of different. Oh, and I used some of those Bic Market markers that are like Sharpies, but they're Bic. Now, here's my Toast Man, who I really, really love the toast. It's one of my favorite parts of this picture. And white gel pen, Prismacolor Copic markers. His was supposed to shine, and it really didn't turn out as glittery as I was hoping it would. But that's okay. You live and you learn. Sorry. This was just all done in gel pen. And same with this gel pen, and my husband bought me some glitter and metallic Crayola markers, so I was just testing them out. This was just kind of like messing around, not really thinking about it. This one is I used a lot of different mediums on it, and between Copic markers, Sharpies, gel pens, colored pencil, like 5 different kinds of colored pencils. I mean, I just used whatever I felt like using, whatever colors were right. Wow, that looks really terrible. I probably used Crayola because I have a really hard time blending Crayola. But I've been using Prismas for a while now, so. This was my first ever Copic, pardon my daughter in the background, coloring. And it's absolutely horrible. It's atrocious. It's terrible. I had no idea how to blend them. I had never really used them, except I had some skin tones that I laid down for a base for my color pencils. And It's absolutely terrible, but I've definitely gotten better over time. So here is another Hannah Lynn, and this one I don't even think I have to pull it out for you to see the glitter. This is before I had discovered hold on a second, the beautiful and wonderful stickles. I had not yet discovered these yet, so I took glue and had some glitter, like regular glitter, and I put glue down and I put the glitter on it, and then I shook the glitter off. So actually there's glitter all over the picture because I didn't know about stickles or any of that kind of stuff, and I was just kind of going with what I had at my house and in my art stuff. And I used gel pen, Copics. I used some watercolor. The bird and her bird wings and skirt or whatever this is watercolor pencil. It's just the Artist Loft watercolor pencil, because I had never really used that much watercolor pencils before. So and the rest is Prismacolor pencil, Copic markers, the glitter that I told you, and these little things are gel pen, and then these are gel pen. And then this is the last one in my binder, and it was done strictly in just Copics. Wait, no, not strictly Copics. I also used some pastel on the background, which was very messy, but it was fun, and I actually did this in really poor lighting. So, and again, this was in the beginning of me learning how to use Copic markers, and she's not bad for somebody who had hardly ever used them before like that, like strictly Copic. So next I'm going to go into my finished, and then I'll move on to my works of progress. So this is the first adult coloring book that I was bought, and the first picture that I ever did, and it's a 2-page spread. I'm going to turn my camera so you can see, and this was just using Crayola and Prismacolor pencils that I had. And it took me a really long time because first I did all the leaves, and then I got bored with it, so I put it down for months, and then I did all the berries, and then I got bored with it, and I put it down for months, and then I got the butterfly and did the background, and I finished it, and I was really happy that I did, because this book is just like a lot of the, like, I mean, I picked it up at Ollie's for $7.99, so and I really like it for somebody who kind of went back and forth with it, but you can tell that I'd really been rusty on my colored pencils because it's really, you know, not blended very well, and the background was a pain in my butt, and I really hated doing it. My favorite part is the butterfly, but it did bleed through on the back. My Sharpie did, but I didn't care because this wasn't like a book that, you know, it's just a book I picked up really cheap at Ollie's. So this is one of my favorite, I'm going to turn it back here so you can see better. This is one of my favorite coloring books. I hate Fairyland. I have another one that I colored, and I actually cut it out and gave it to my husband because he wanted it. So I don't have that. He has it somewhere with the Batman that I colored in. So this is the picture that I have done in here. I used Copic for her skin, and then I did Copic, and then I did the Prismacolor pencils over top, and then I used some big markers because I didn't have, like I said, I only had the Copic skin tones, so this was done in like the Big Market markers, and this was done in the Big Market markers with Prismacolor pencil on top. Sorry, I'm drawing a lot of blanks today. The eye is not very good, but who cares, because this is one of my favorite ones that I've ever done. I absolutely love her. I worked really hard. I worked 3 nights in a row on her, and I'm really happy with her. So, oops. This is perforated, and I got this book off Amazon if you're interested. It's actually based off of a comic book series, which I've never read. I didn't know until after I bought it. The next one that I did, I'm kind of going in order of when, how I did them, besides my works in progress. Next, I did this in this Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I'm pretty sure I bought this at Kmart, before it went out of business. Went out of business this past year, so. Pretty sure I used Copics. Yep. Or nope, not Copics. I didn't have Copics at this time. I must have used Bic and Sharpie markers. But I didn't do half bad on the smoke, but now I know about white colored pens, or white gel pens and white paint pens. So, but the smoke actually did turn out really good for me just using colored pencils. But I did use white gel pen on here. So, it didn't come out as bright as I wanted it to, but it's supposed to be smoke, so it's kind of transparent to the black, so I guess it's fine. The grass took me forever. I hated coloring the grass, but I pushed through it because I really wanted to finish this one. So, and that's the only one that I have done in here. I tried to mark them before I did the video. Okay, this one has a works in progress and a finish in it. And, this sucks. I hate it. I don't like it at all. Last year, my brother was in 11th grade, and he needed to do a project of something that was more than 10 steps. And I was trying to do a, how to do a coloring page in a coloring book for him. And so I had to rush this all into one day because he didn't tell me till the last minute about the project. So I had to rush this all into one day to help him show the steps of the project. Because he just needed the steps. I could do the steps. So, but there is one in here. This one is, it is just a wash. I think I did started right there, but I haven't finished it, so I put that in my finished pile because there was one finished, even though I didn't like it, and then one that's still in progress. So this one I picked up at my local Walmart, and apparently I finished it on May 7th. It's Mysterious Planets. And I used a colored pencil, and I used stickles on the tree. It was the first time I got stickles, and I wanted to try them, and I didn't have anything at the time that I wanted to put stickles on yet. So I pulled this out because I know that I left the tops white because I didn't want to color them anything, and I got to try stickles, and I really liked them. So I'm glad that I picked them up at Michael's. So this was colored pencil. Again, pardon my daughter. And that was the only one I did in here. And it came out okay, but next is Enchanting Faces by Hannah Lynn, and the one that I have finished in here because I was trying to stop taking them out. Well, I had taken them out because I was using Copics, and obviously I used Copics, but I wanted to try to do it on cardstock paper, and so that's why I had some that were cut out and in that other book, because I did them on cardstock, not on the actual, like, this is like copier paper. It's not good paper. So, but this is by Hannah Lynn. And I use Copics, Prismacolor pencils, and gel pens. I try to do gel pens in the black parts of her hair, and I believe I tried to do it on her corset. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. And I kind of went with like a steampunky kind of theme with her. So I tried to do a metallical with those Sharpie metallic markers, but it actually started drying out halfway through. So I was just trying to push through to finish it because I didn't want a half-done border because that would be stupid. So, and this one was done June 4th. And the last one in my finished pile is my pop manga. It's a 2-page spread. And I used oil pastels, Prisma colored pencils, and paint, and some gel pen, I do believe. And I do like the way it turned out. I actually really love this one a lot. I worked really hard on this. I have probably, I didn't even know that that got on him like that. It took me forever, so I am very proud of it. And I probably shouldn't have made those flowers red, but it's fine. But it took me, excuse me, it took me a really long time. I mean, it took me like a couple weeks to finish it. I did a lot of layers, did a lot of work on it. Next I'm going to go into my works in progress from the ones that are the oldest to the ones that are the newest. Because sometimes you just start a coloring page, and I am actually doing this on my bed, so pardon me. Because I need to be able to see both the kids, and the TV is right above my desk. This is Secret Paris coloring for mindfulness. And this is just me practicing with watercolors. I thought this would be a really good book for practicing watercolors because it's like a very, I don't know what the word is for it, but so that's what I actually did like the way that turned out because actually it looks like a jean dress. So there's that one. And then I have the Hannah Lynn Enchanted Halloween, and this one is not done because I got bored with it. I was trying to use pastel for the wood because I didn't want to waste my colored pencils on the wood, and I felt lazy. Well, my butt did the border before I did the pastel, so it got everywhere and on everything, and I didn't finish it. I also don't like the way that this came out either. I wish these could have been whiter. I might try to fix it, but I don't know. It, to me, it's just I grew very unhappy with it, so don't know if I'm actually gonna ever finish that one. This one I probably will finish when I'm in the mood to finish it because it's just cute little 90s. I was a 90s kid, and this book is coloring the 90s, and I loved all these cartoons. So this was just done in simply Copic markers, just hanging out, not really caring, simple basic cartoons. I just come and go at it as I please. This is one that I started. This is one that I started, and I'm working slowly at him. When I feel like him, I work on it. When I don't, obviously I don't. But this is one of the main reasons I got this book, because I really wanted to color this dude here. But I work on him as I feel like working on him. There's just some things where you just stick with it, and then there's just some things where you have to be in the mood. And this Peter Pan by Fabiana, I don't know how to say her last name, and I don't know. Other people say her name right on their channel, so this is my work in progress in there. I got this on Amazon. It was only like $4, and it's actually originally $10. So, she's work in progress. She's Tinkerbell. Still thinking of some ideas for her wings and stuff, but just when I'm in the mood to color some leaves or something, I pull her out and I work on her. So, there's that. And the one that I have been working on for Halloween is from my Jasmine Beckett Griffin coloring book, A Fantasy Art Adventure. There is one. I don't have the Halloween one. I want the Halloween one, but I don't have the Halloween one. And my husband bought this for me brand new at Barnes & Noble, so he paid the full price for it. We didn't buy it off Amazon because I wanted to color in it right then and now. So, this is Skeleton Magic, and this is the one that I have been working on for the past, I started it the 8th. And it is now the 20-something. I don't know. I think it's like the 27th or 26th or something. I don't know. I can't keep track of the days anymore. I go by weekdays, not by the actual day of the week. Anyways, I've been working on her very hard. I'm at a standstill at the moment because I'm thinking about how to go about the grass. So, I already had watercolored it, but I'm thinking about what I want to do on top of that watercolor to make it kind of pop a little bit. So, and the cat, because I really suck at fur, and I want the cat to be black, but I don't know how to color black cats, so we'll figure something out. Anyways, so she is my current work in progress, and I have used, Prismacolor pencils, Posca pen, this is the first one that I got to experiment my Jane Davenport watercolors on, and, trying to think about if I used anything else. I know I didn't use any markers, but I've been contemplating about using some of the background. I don't know. We'll see as I get there, because I messed up a little bit on my bone mend, so I gotta try to find a way to fix that, because this is one that I want to finish her. I want to, so I don't want to ruin anything in this book, because I really love this book, and it's really expensive. He paid $20 for it, so that is all I have, and that is all of my my finished projects and all of my works in progress currently. And hopefully in the next couple weeks, hopefully by the beginning of October, I will be starting some coloring tutorials and reviews on some products that I have, and some products that I will be getting. And I really want to make this channel all about my coloring and my adult coloring. So thank you guys.